Hello guys, today I'm gonna teach you file permission in Linux. In previous lectures we studied the different types of files. Today let's understand how to change the permission for a specific files directory. Okay, first of all, let's understand the file permission in Linux. For example, here for each files we have different permissions. In these files, for example, in this directory we have read write executable for the user background and read and executable for the group and read and executable for the others. Okay, so let me copy the link and let's decode. Okay, the letter D, it indicates the directory, types of files directory, and we have this read, write and execute. Read, write and execute. This is for the user. This is for the user or the owner of the file. The owner of the file in this case is Vagrant. Okay, Vagrant. And this one we have read and we don't have write permissions, and we have execute. This is for the group. The group is also Vagrant. Okay, Vagrant. It means that those members inside Vagrant group can read and execute the files. They don't have write permissions. And the third one, this is for the others. This is for the others groups, others users. It means other users other than the group background and the user background. They have read and only execution permission. Okay. So this is how the file permissions looks like, and different permissions for users, group and other users. Right now the question is how we change permission for each users. For example, how we change the permissions for the user background, and how we change these permissions for the group background, and how do we change for the other users. Okay, so let me show you how to change file permissions for different types of users. So I want to change this. Okay, first of all, let me create another directory mkdir in temp, and for example I want to create admin directory in temp as well. Now let me move to temp ls-ltr. Okay, by default you see admin. The user Vagrant has read, write and executable permissions, and the group Vagrant read and executable, and the others has read and executable. So right now what I'm trying to do is to change these permissions. For example, I wanna give write permissions for the group Vagrant as well. So how can I do that? Ch on change ownerships. Okay. Okay, chmod. How can I do that? I say, for example, just for the group you add write permissions. Which file? I mean, right now if I want to check that, you can see the write permission has been added for the group background as well. You can see previously it didn't exist. Right now we have write permission as well. For example, if I want to remove this permission, executable permission for the others, how can I do that? I can simply write chmod other minus executable. I mean, okay. Right now, if I want to check that, you can see executable permission has been removed for the other user. This is how you change the permissions for user, group, and other users. Actually, we have two ways to change the file permissions. The first one is alphabetic, and the second one is numeric. For the numeric, we have number 4 for the read permissions, number 2 for the write permissions, and number 1 for the execute permissions. What does it mean? We can change file permission using numeric numbers. How can we do that? For example, let me change, let me remove permissions, or let me, yes, if you want to change file permissions using numeric numbers, this is really straightforward and simple. So as I told you, we have 4 for the read and 2 for the write and 1 for the execute. What does it mean? If you put number 4, it means the user has read permissions. If you put number 2, the user has write permissions. If you put number 1, so the user has executions permissions. So the total, we can sum up 4 plus 2 plus 1, it is 7. If you put 7, it means that the user, yes, the user has read, write, and execution permissions. So if you, for example, only put 4 plus 2, 6, it means the user only has read and write permissions. If you, for example, want 2 plus 1, 3, it means the user has only write and executable permissions, not read permissions. Okay, so let's do that. chmod. For example, for the users, I only need to have, for example, read and write permissions. Read and write permissions. 4 plus 2, it means 4 plus 2, 6. I put 6. And for the group, I need also read and write permissions, which is 6. And for the others, I don't give any permissions, so I put 0. Okay, file name Amin. Right now, if you want to check that, you can see for the users, for the user Vagrant, he has read and write permissions, and for the group Vagrants, he has read and write permissions, and for the other, they don't have any permissions. So for example, if you want to remove all permissions, you can simply put 000. Right now, nobody has any permissions. No read, write, and executable. So let's see. You can see all the permission has been removed. If you want to give full permissions for the all members, read, write, and execute, what do you want to do? You sum up this 4 plus 2 plus 1, which is equal to 7. You put 7 for the 3 users, 7 read, write, and execute for the user, 7 read, write, and execute for the group, and read, write, and execute for the other users, and name of the file. Okay. Now if I want to check that, yes, you can see right now all people, they have full permissions, read, write, and execute. So you can use both of these two ways to change file permissions in Linux. Whatever is simple to you, you can use that. You can use, for example, with using alphabetic, and you can use numeric to change file permissions. Okay. Okay. Let me exit. Okay, right now we understood how to change file permissions in Linux using alphabetics, characters, and numeric. Right now, let's understand how to change the ownership of the file. For example, how do we change the users and how do we change the group? So first of all, let me okay, ch, you can use command chown, and I wanna change Vagrant to the root. How can I do that? Root, the user should be root and the group should be Vagrant. And which file? For example, error.txt. Operation not permitted. Okay, I have to switch to the root user to do this. This minus LTR. Okay, here I want to change this. For example, the user is John and the group is to IS. I want to just change the John to root user. Okay, how can I do that? chown, the user should be root and the group should be to IS. Which file? France. Now it should be changed. You can see the user or the owner of the file change from John to the root, and the group is the same. So for example, if I want to change the group as well, I want to change the group to IS to the root as well. So how can I do that? I can simply put root. Right now, if I want to change that, you can see I changed the user to the root and the group to the root. For example, if I want to change that again, which group do I have? John. Okay. Right now, if you want to change it, only the group, how can you do that? For example, chon, you can only put root to IS, France. See? This is how you can change file permissions, the owner or the author of a file, and how you change the group. Thank you guys for watching and have a good day.